Once upon a time, in a small village near the forest, there was a little girl named Lynn. She always wore a blue coat that her grandmother had made for her, so everyone called her the girl in the blue coat. One day, Lynn's mother asked her to bring a basket of cakes and a pot of hot tea to her grandmother, who lived in a small cottage on the other side of the forest. Before she left, her mother warned her, "Go straight to Grandma's house and don't talk to strangers." Lynn nodded and cheerfully set off into the woods. Halfway through, she met a red fox with a sly smile. The fox pretended to be friendly and asked, "Hello, little girl. Where are you going?" Innocently, Lynn replied, "I'm bringing cakes and tea to my grandmother." The fox immediately came up with a plan. It grinned and said, "Oh, really? I know a shortcut that will get you there much faster. Would you like to know?" Lynn was excited, but just as she was about to follow the fox, just then, a little squirrel jumped down from a tree and shouted. She remembered her mother's warning. She took a step back and asked suspiciously, "But why are you being so kind to me?" The fox chuckled slyly. "Because I love helping children, of course. Be careful, little girl. This fox is a trickster. He's trying to fool you." Lynn gasped, realizing she had almost been tricked. She quickly thanked the squirrel and ran away. The fox, furious, tried to chase her, but the squirrel called for a flock of birds. They swooped down and pecked at the fox's tail. Terrified, the fox ran away and disappeared into the forest. Lynn followed the familiar path and safely arrived at her grandmother's house. After hearing the story, her grandmother patted her head and said, "You were very smart. Always remember to be careful and listen to the advice of your loved ones." From that day on, Lynn was always cautious when walking through the forest and never spoke to strangers again. As for the cunning fox, he never dared to trick anyone again. Lesson learned. Always be careful with sweet words from strangers and listen to your parents' advice. Subscribe now to enjoy amazing stories.